me verbally preparing you all in explaining what these dimensional shifts and what's actually happening and how this is going to affect the entire world as a collective. You see, I already talked about this was about what 6 7 months ago. We talked about the Mandela effect and the fact that the Mandela effect was going to gain a lot more mainstream popularity and more things would start to pop up. Around that time, we were only seeing kind of one or two videos popping up. And then shortly after, many more started to pop up, and people started to realize, hey, my version of events correlate with this. And another person would say, my version of events correlate with this. And people would have proof that both things happened. And that's the interesting part about this is that the dimensions are overlaying each other. You see, I've spoken on these subjects for some time with people, and I've said that the past, present, and future are all one finite being. They are all one finite experience. They are all one. It is one experience overlaying itself. In fact, in your own experience as an individual, past, present, and future are you. In other words, look, all of the past is the sum total of who you are. Who you are in this moment is what you are creating in this moment is electromagnetically drawing in the experiences of what that potential timeline is. You see, we always have a choice, but inside of us we have this electromagnetic compass that is guiding us through thought, and our thought, or based on our decisions, creates the likelihood of the outcome of the future. So even though the future hasn't happened, the future in fact is being created in this now moment. You are priming yourself for what your future is. This is how the whole effects of, I've talked about this many times in my videos. It's like, for example, when you think about somebody and they call you, and you find this happening so many times for yourself over and over again, and it gets to the point where it's no longer a coincidence, you tend to ask yourself, am I actually controlling this? Am I tapping into this? How did I know that person was going to call before they called? Well, that before they called was the future, but yet you were a radio frequency that was able to pick that information up and then drive that information pick that information up before the event happened. Or, for example, you call things before they happen. This is why I was saying, now, past, present, and future are all one thing. Now, when you have 7 billion people that are all on the planet simultaneously creating within past, present, and future in a collective consciousness, that's where you're going to start to see some of the Mandelic effects that are taking place in this world. Now, the event that is coming, the event that is taking place, what we're going through right now and what we are moving into is something that is going to rattle the entire earth. And this actually was shown to me in 3 events. So we're going to see slightly one kind of event that's going to shake the world a little bit up. The second one's going to be much bigger, and the third one's going to be massive. Now, I'm going to talk about these things in terms of what was given to me. So what some of the information that I was shared with and what they were showing me and kind of what's been happening. And it just will help you all understand that the system right now, the matrix that we are in right now is crumbling. It is literally dissolving before our very eyes. And you are going to see this very quickly happening. And this is not fear-mongering. This is just the transformative stage. This is the transfer of one old age to a new age and a new era of time. And one of those things that you're going to see is affected and infected because of the fact that it is no longer conducive to the new energy is the financial systems. Now look out for this, because people have to recognize and understand that the financial systems are going to change. This is an inevitability. This is not up for discussion. This is not up for if it's going to happen. This is a conversation of when it is going to happen. Now, the reason for that is because the foundational structure of the finance system is significantly flawed. For example, the United States currency, or USD, is what we call a fiat currency. It is essentially backed by the basis of a fugazi. In other words, the only value or metric system US dollar has, being a fiat currency, is its ability to be able to be traded with things like oil in the market. And if people in other countries don't use USD to trade the currency, whether it be oil, whether it be food, whether it be technology, if the US dollar is no longer exchanged, the value